Hello, hello, and welcome. Welcome to another live. All right, so we're doing a Hurricane Beryl check-in and would love to know if you're doing okay. So soon we're going to open the phone line to take your calls. All right. So again, welcome, welcome. If you're just tuning in, well, we have just started. If you're a returning viewer or subscriber, welcome back, welcome back. If you're new to this space, welcome, welcome, welcome. Voices in Education is a safe space where we share and learn from each other. And we're also, interested in knowing how our community members are doing in a time like this. So we'd definitely love to hear from you in the live chat, or, you can give us a call. All right. So just sharing a little bit here. So just give me a little moment here to get things going and ready. All right, so I know that some of us we have experienced, some aspect of this hurricane. All right, and some of us we are pretty much wondering what is going to happen in the context of this hurricane. And so, it is definitely important to keep safe. All right. So based on what is happening and based on my understanding of the situation, all right, Hurricane Beryl, pretty much, I guess it was a category 4 storm when it, I guess entered or hit islands or countries such as St. Vincent and the Grenadines, and I stand corrected here, Barbados, Grenada. And so at this point, we are understanding that that is coming, heading to Jamaica. All right. And so, in the context of this, it is important for us to keep safe. So a hurricane warning, all right, was in effect for Jamaica, Grand Cayman, Little Cayman, Cayman Brac, and for Haiti's entire southern coast. All right. And so Beryl was forecast to start losing intensity on Tuesday, which we were updated that it was no longer a category 5, but now a category 4 hurricane. And so that is still, very strong. And so again, it has been downgraded a notch, all right, today to a category 4. And the center, so the Hurricane Center said, Beryl was expected to bring life-threatening winds and storm surge to Jamaica. All right. And their officials warned residents in flood prone areas to prepare for evacuation. And so, in the context of that, I would just like to go to an update from, all right, in the context of that, I would love to go to an update from the Prime Minister of Jamaica, Andrew Holness. And so I'm just going to try and bring that up right now. All right. So again, welcome, welcome. If you're just tuning in, welcome to this live conversation. All right. So let us go to that video. All right, here we go. All right. So he gave this. address to the nation a short while ago. So, guys, as you enter, you can hit the like button and hit the subscription button and share. Tell a friend to tell another friend about the Voices in Education. So, the Prime Minister, Andrew Holness, gave a national broadcast on Hurricane Beryl. And so, we're going to go to this update to hear what the Prime Minister has to say. So, let's go to this one.
My fellow Jamaicans, here and overseas, Hurricane Beryl maintains its path to impact Jamaica early tomorrow morning. In an emergency meeting of CARICOM heads this morning, we were briefed on the destructive impact of the hurricane on our Eastern Caribbean sister islands. We expressed our solidarity and willingness to support, even as we make our own preparations. Jamaica must take this hurricane seriously. Early this morning, the Cabinet reviewed our plans to manage the threat of the hurricane, and a caucus of Parliament was also briefed on our state of readiness and the provisions for emergency response. In this special allocation of $5 million per constituency to assist with emergency cases for food and bill CDF. After careful review of the trajectory of the storm, the likely strength and impact, the potential threats emanating, and having been notified in writing by the Minister the Risk Management Act for the next 7 days. All Jamaica should note
All right, guys, not too sure what's happening with the audio here. Perhaps this is how the video was transmitted. So I'm just going to check and see what's happening. Or let me know if you're hearing in the live chat.
and overseas. Hurricane Beryl maintains its path to impact Jamaica early tomorrow morning. In an emergency meeting of CARICOM heads this morning, we were briefed on the destructive impact of the hurricane on our Eastern Caribbean sister islands. We expressed our solidarity and willingness to support, even as we make our own preparations. Jamaica must take this hurricane seriously. Early this morning, the Cabinet reviewed our plans to manage the threat of the hurricane, and a caucus of Parliament was also briefed on our state of readiness and the provision for emergency response. In this special allocation of $5 million per constituency to assist with emergency cases for food and bill CDF. After careful review of the trajectory of the storm, the likely strength and impact, the potential threats emanating, and having been notified in writing by the Minister is the Risk Management Act for the next 7 days. All Jamaica should note criminal activity. An evacuation order on the direction of authorized officers is also in effect for flood-prone and landslide-prone areas, areas at or below sea level, and areas at or close if and when they are issued. However, even without the issuance of notice, if you live in a low-lying area and an area is historically prone to flooding and landslide, or if you live on the banks of a river or a gully, I implore you to evacuate to a shelter or to safer ground. The Minister with responsibility for commerce will also make an order under Section 8 of the Trade Act to prevent price gouging of essential goods during a period of disaster. The Minister of Transport has also made arrangements with the operators of the east-west and north-south toll highways to give free access to the toll road between the hours of 6 p.m. and midnight today, July 2nd, 2024. This is to ensure that all Jamaicans who are currently on the road are able to get home safely and conveniently. The details of the various orders will be gazetted, published in our media, and posted on various government websites. The situation, as you can imagine, is dynamic, and the government continues to monitor developments and will provide regular updates. The entire government and all relevant personnel are in a state of readiness to manage the disaster. ODPEM is leading the National Disaster Response. The National Emergency Operations Center, the NEOC, has been activated, and all relevant agencies are on high alert. Now, as we brace for the potential impacts of Hurricane Beryl, we also need our Jamaican household, our Jamaican family, you, to be prepared. It is imperative that we remain calm. Now, it's not a time for panic. Now, here are some very important steps that each of us should take to ensure our safety and the safety of our loved ones. First thing, stay informed. Regularly check reliable sources of information getting your updates on the progress of the hurricane, tune into your local news stations, listen to the radio, and follow official social media channels such as the Jamaica Information Service for the latest information. The Met Service and the Office of Disaster Preparedness and Emergency Management will provide timely updates. Second, create an emergency plan. Discuss with your family and loved ones what actions to take in the event of an emergency. Identify your strongest room in the house, your safe room, where you can take shelter during the storm. Ensure that everyone knows the location of emergency supplies, such as flashlights, batteries, and first aid kits. This can be a particularly fearful time for our children. Take some time to reassure and comfort them and explain to them what is happening. Third, stock up on essential items. By now, you should have your emergency supply kit with enough food, water, medication, and necessities to last for at least 3 days. And this should include items such as non-perishable food, bottled water, your prescription medications, toiletries, and important documents should be in waterproof containers. Fourth, secure your property. Take steps to protect your home from potential damage. You should, by now, would have already pruned the trees around your home, and you would have secured loose items that could become projectiles in high wind. Given the projected strength of the hurricane, protecting your roof is a critical part of your preparations. Fifth, know emergency numbers. You should familiarize yourself with emergency contact numbers and have them readily available. The following numbers are crucial during this time: police, fire, and ambulance, that is, of course, 119, weather updates, 116, ODPEM, 876-906-9674, the Jamaica Red Cross, 876-984-7860, and, of course, the JPS, 1-888-225-5577. That is 1-888, call JPS. Now, during the passage of the hurricane, there may be loss of electricity and water. The emergency services will seek to restore power and water as quickly as possible. However, citizens should not seek to remove down poles or power lines or disturb water mains. Please use the emergency numbers given to report damage to public utilities and do not take unnecessary risks. Additionally, the JCF and the JDF will be fully mobilized to maintain public order and assist with disaster relief as soon as the hurricane has passed. The security forces have developed strategic plans to counter any potential threat of looting or any other opportunistic crimes during this period. Hurricane Beryl is the earliest Category 5 hurricane on record. It highlights the growing impact of climate change on global weather patterns, particularly on small island developing states like Jamaica. While our carbon emissions are minuscule, our region bears the brunt of the impacts of climate change. The hurricane further highlights the urgent need for global climate action and targeted support to enhance resilience against the escalating dangers of climate change. Your government understands that we live in a time of overlapping crises and unpredictable external shocks not of our making. This means that as a government, as a people, we must be resilient. We must build the capacity to absorb shocks and recover quickly. We have been through disasters in recent years, including a pandemic, and we have recovered quickly. We have been mainstreaming climate resilience in all our plans and programs, including the design and construction of our new infrastructure, our fiscal arrangements, and in our national security planning. We continue to build our reserves to ensure protection against both low and high frequency events. By any measure, as a country, we are more prepared than at any time in our history to handle these shocks. Nevertheless, we know that it will bring difficult times during the impact and during the recovery. However, if we bond together as a people and each of us commit to act as responsible citizens, we can get through this and recover quickly. Let us do all we can to preserve life. Listen to the warnings. Act wisely. Put away violent response to conflicts that may occur in crises. Let's commit to being our brother's keeper. Look out for our neighbor, the elderly and infirm. Now is the time that we need community. It is the spirit of community that will pull us through. I know there are many Jamaicans praying right now. Please continue to lift up Jamaica in prayers. With the blessing of God on the vessel of preparation we have made, we will safely ride out this storm. May God bless us all and keep us safe. God bless Jamaica.
All right, so that was Prime Minister Andrew Holness there addressing the nation. And again, guys, I cannot overemphasize the importance of keeping safe. All right. And so, that is definitely important. Safety trumps everything. So if, for example, you need to move to a shelter, please do that. Your life is very important. All right. When you can replace other things, I mean, it might be stressful, but, once there is life, there is hope. And we do not want, anything to go wrong with any of you. So ensure that you're keeping safe, check in with the elderly, friends and family members, and ensure that they're doing okay. And most importantly, you ensure that you are doing okay. So based on all that I am understanding, this hurricane is supposed to hit Jamaica at daybreak. And so I am hoping by now that, persons are doing the necessary preparation and taking the necessary measures or steps to ensure that, you're securing your property and, documents, your medication. And again, if you know that you live in an area that is usually flooded with heavy rainfall, get ready to move. Listen to the warnings, listen to the emergency measures, and follow them accordingly. Lexi is here. Welcome, welcome, Lexi. And welcome, welcome, Joy, Joy, and Marie Brown. Good evening. And definitely, we all need to take care. And as you enter, you can hit the like button and the subscription button as well. Would really appreciate your support. So, while Jamaica is expecting this hurricane, I just want to show you some photos of, what this storm hurricane has done in other places, other Caribbean countries. So here on screen, a woman in the parish of St. James in Barbados runs as water from the sea floods a street after the passage of Hurricane Beryl on Monday. All right, so just to show you some of what is happening or what has happened, in other places. So this is Barbados. And here, I believe, still in Barbados, so Bridgetown. So fishermen pull a boat damaged by Hurricane Beryl back to the dock at the Bridgetown Fisheries in Barbados on Monday. So I hope that persons in Barbados, if you're here, check in and let us know, what is happening there, how things are at this point. Would love to hear from you in the live chat. And we'll also have the phone line open in a bit. You'll see the number coming on screen in just a bit. All right, here this photo is showing, damaged homes in Kingston in St. Vincent and the Grenadines. So another Caribbean, country here. All right, hit by Hurricane Beryl. So just for you to get an idea of some of the impacts so far, from this hurricane. So again, it is important for us to, I guess, listen to the warnings, take the necessary steps to ensure that you're securing your property, but most importantly, to ensure that you, as an individual, that you are safe. All right. That trumps everything right now. So if you're here from St. Vincent and the Grenadines, would love to hear from you in the live chat or, give us a call. We want to hear from you in the context, of what is happening there now, how are you doing, what is it like in terms of support, would love to hear from you. And here, I believe this is in St. Vincent as well. A tree lies on the roof of a house in Kingston, St. Vincent, and the Grenadines. All right, after Hurricane Beryl hit the Caribbean nation. So I guess, St. Vincent, they got, hit there, and, it is, as we can see here from some of the photos. And again, would love to hear from, our community members who are there in St. Vincent and the Grenadines. All right. So also we were told about Grenada. All right. So Grenada was hit as well. And, or an island of Grenada. And so, again, some issues there in terms of the impact of the hurricane so far. I am trying to find my screen here. Okay, here we go with the number. And so the WhatsApp number should be on screen right now. The phone line is open. So please give me a call. Would love to hear from you. All right. So don't be afraid to give us a call. Again, just doing a check-in. Jamaica, persons here tuned in from Jamaica, give me a call. Some updates that I've been receiving, Mandeville, it's really challenging to get fuel. And so there are, lots of lines there in Mandeville. Supermarket shelves are empty. So would love to hear from you guys. And also in terms of, what you're doing in the context of preparing for this, hurricane that should hit there, I guess in a few hours. And prayers are up, never stop praying, pray without ceasing. All right. Things can change in an instant. All right. So let's keep the prayers going as well in that context. Let me see who is going to call in first. And again, even if you just want to say hello or you like the program, that is totally okay. Would love to hear from you. Even if you are not in Jamaica and you got the opportunity to talk to family members, you can call in and share with us, let us know how they're doing and, how you're feeling about this hurricane. Again, would love to hear from you. So don't be afraid to give us a call. And close the X, guys. Give this a thumbs up. That would be awesome as well. All right. So what I can tell you too is that, as you heard from the Prime Minister there in Jamaica at this point, because I guess it's past 6 o'clock, the toll road, I guess, is to use, and it depends. One section, I'm going to see if I can get that information to just share with you. Let me just quickly go here. All right, so Highway 2000 will be free from 6 p.m. Tuesday, all right, to 9 p.m. Wednesday. All right, so 6 p.m. today until 9 p.m. tomorrow. All right, and then over the North-South Highway, the toll will be free from 6 p.m. today, Tuesday, all right, until 6 a.m. Wednesday. All right, so what they're saying is that a reassessment will be done tomorrow following the passage of the hurricane. So this context in terms of traveling free might change, so they might extend that a bit longer depending on the passage of the hurricane. All right, so that's a good move in terms of ensuring that, persons can get home safely. And so that is important now for you to get home safely, ensure that you're securing your property, important documents like your birth certificate, your passport, medication, things that you'll need if you have to move. You can go, grab and go, ensure that you have, food items, and, be prepared, the flashlight, etc. Be prepared. And it's better to be prepared than not prepared. All right. And so that is definitely important there. So just to give you that update. So I'm going to pin the WhatsApp number in the chat in the event that you'd like to call. I'm just going to check on the ADPEM's website, all right, just to get a sense of the shelters so that you can definitely, see, all right. And that is another important thing too. You need to find out or locate the shelter that is closest to you. So in the event that you have to evacuate, you know exactly where to go. So you don't need to panic. And again, that is important in terms of finding out, the shelter that is closest to you. So I'm going to just check quickly here on the ODPEM's website to see if they have, that information there. And that would be fantastic. All right, so here it says shelters. So I'm going to see if this is listed based on, parish, because that would be fantastic. So again, Jamaica, you're bracing yourself for, Hurricane Beryl, and Beryl should get there in the morning. We're told just before daybreak. So here, if you're in Kingston, so what I'm going to do, I'm going to try and, share this link on the community tab. So just in the event that you'd like to find out where the shelters are, you can definitely use this information to find out. But let's check if it's working first, and then we'll see. So I just submitted Kingston, and here we go. Apparently, too, there are lists there that you have to perhaps download. All right. And so let me just try and see what this will bring. All right. So it's asking me to download stuff. All right. So in this context, you will see, the shelters here. So I suspect based on what is happening, all right, you'll have the list of shelters based on parishes. So you want to just visit this site to ensure that you find out, you locate the shelter that is closest to you. And usually shelters are like schools, churches. And so you want to find out, and not all the time, not every school or a church is a shelter, because it depends on the location, and if that, particular school, for example, might be in a flood prone area. So again, it is important for you to find out, the shelters. All right. So just to let you know that this information is available on the OddPIMS, website, and I am going to ensure that, I try to pin this in the chat. But here it says here, use your mouse to move the map around to see other shelter listing. To zoom, press and hold Control button on your keyboard while scrolling. So, for example, here is Kingston. So it gives me, all right, a sense of, what is going on here. And say, for example, St. Michael's Primary. I don't know why that is closed, but let's see if we find if it's just the same thing with all of them just being closed. But they have some shelters, all right? More. So I guess Gregory Park Primary here. If we should go to Old Arbor here, Old Arbor High School. This looks like May Pen here. Denby High School. Fort Pass Primary. All right. Milk River Primary. All right. So that's Southwest there. And perhaps this is Rest Primary and Junior High. All right, just some places there is primary and junior high. So I suspect, these shelters are there. So I guess they're closed now because it's not, yet, I guess, time. But these places, I suspect, will be open, in the event that the hurricane is there and persons need to evacuate. So the odd pen persons, I guess they are strategically placed to ensure that, things are going as, planned. So here, again, you can just tap on the map here with the shelters. So these red pins, or red dots, they're representing the shelters, and you will see St. Mary, Highgate Primary and Junior High. All right. And so that's a shelter there, and you can always go over. All right. So again, welcome, welcome. If you're just tuning in, welcome to, our live here, checking in. So right now I'm going to do a big check-in in the live chat. Let me know where you're tuned in from and if you're okay. All right, because the chat is pretty quiet. So let me know where you're tuned in from and if you're okay. So let's do this. So I look for your responses in the chat there. So just let me know if you're okay, where you're tuned in from, and if you're doing okay. All right. So again, welcome, welcome. Let me know if you're okay and where you're tuned in from. Let's see. Let's see who is going to comment first in the chat. All right. So that's the situation. So good to know that, this, is accessible online in the context of the shelters. So they're closed now, but then you'll get the opportunity to, I guess, to see them, which one is closest to you. And in the event that you have to evacuate, then you do that accordingly. All right. And so just to let you know that the telecommunications company in Jamaica, they're pretty much saying that they're very prepared and let me just see, Digicel. All right, they say their systems are ready for Hurricane Beryl. All right, the telecommunication company says its cell sites are refueled and critical supplies are in place. All right, and so that's Digicel there, and I believe I saw something from Flo. All right, and just to let you know too, that JPS, the Jamaica Public Service Company, is dismissing as fake news, claims about the national grid being shut down tonight due to the impending arrival of Hurricane Beryl. All right, so again, you need to ensure that you are listening to, credible information or sources or, accessing that because that is important. We don't want to have any unnecessary panicking. All right. So again, based on this update here from Jamaica Public Service Company, they're dismissing as fake news claims about the national grid being shut down tonight due to the impending arrival of Hurricane Beryl. All right, so JPS is saying not no go so. All right, so just to let you know, we talk about the toll already. All right, and I'm almost certain that, all right, next information. So outpatient services and elective surgeries will be suspended as the country's public health system prepares for the passage of Hurricane Beryl. So what they're pretty much saying here in terms of hospitals, so certain I guess elective surgeries, outpatient services will be suspended. All right. So not saying that if you have an emergency that you should not go to the hospital, go to the hospital. All right. But certain things they're not going to do because they're operating on the emergency mode. All right. And so that is something that you should be aware of. So according to this article here, the Ministry of Health and Wellness has advised that while all public hospitals will remain open, they are now operating in emergency mode. In addition to changes to outpatient services and elective surgeries, visitations will also be limited. All right. Further, family members are asked to pick up their relatives who have been admitted for non critical reasons. All right. Additionally, the Jamaica Cuba Eye Care program is suspended until further notice. All right. So that is the situation there. And what they're asking is that if you have family members who have been admitted, all right, for non-critical reasons, you should, pick them up from the hospitals. All right. Marjorie, welcome, welcome, Clarendon. We are okay. Fantastic, fantastic. Thanks for sharing there and happy that you're doing well, Marjorie. How have you been preparing for the hurricane? What's your preparation like? All right, so let me just switch here to get the WhatsApp number back on screen. All right, so that you can see that. If you'd like to give us a call, all right, would love to hear from you. All right, so, all right, telecommunications company Flow says its preparations are far advanced to maintain its network resilience during the passage of Hurricane Beryl. So Digicel and Flow, they said they're up like seven, and they are pretty much okay and prepared for the hurricane. All right, so if the Ministry of Tourism has activated its Tourism Emergency Operations Center at the Jamaica Pegasus in Kingston in preparation for Hurricane Beryl, which is expected to impact Jamaica on Wednesday. All right, so let me just try and pull this article up just to give you a sense of what is happening here. All right, so according to a media release from the ministry earlier today, the TEOC is focused on several preparedness activities. These include ensuring that hotels, Airbnbs, and tourism attractions follow comprehensive hurricane preparedness plans. Hotels, Airbnbs, and attractions are expected to stock up on emergency supplies, secure their facilities to minimize potential damage, implement evacuation plans where necessary, and ensure that emergency contact information is readily available. All right. So Jamaica Tourism Minister Edmund Bartlett, who convened several urgent strategy meetings since Sunday with policy and planning group and other key members of the industry, has underscored that the TEOC team will continue to monitor the situation closely and provide updates as needed. All right. So just to let you know about that information. And again, if you're just tuning in, Hurricane Beryl has weakened to a category 4 hurricane. All right. But just to let you know that the Met Service of Jamaica says the likelihood of a direct impact to the island has increased. All right, so a hurricane warning remains in effect for Jamaica. All right, so just to let you know, and based on what we are hearing, is that, this Hurricane Beryl is, I guess, somewhat expected at daybreak or just before daybreak. So, again, it is important for you to keep safe, all right, and ensure that you're following, the warnings, listening to those. That is definitely important. All right. So again, lots of persons are shopping and, taking up items that they need, essential items. So I trust that persons are pretty much okay in that, all right, in that sense, because again, it's better to be prepared than sorry. All right. So just to let you know that. All right. So not seeing any further comments there in the chat. So just check in there because we're going to wrap this one up soon in a little bit. So I'm just checking here to see if I'm missing any comments, any updates. All right. Is there anyone here from Barbados, St. Vincent, Grenada? Let me know in the chat. Would love to hear from you. And again, please remember to check on, friends and family members. All right, that is definitely important, especially, the elderly, persons with disabilities, who may need some assistance, ensure that we are doing that for sure. All right, not seeing any further comments there in the chat. So let me just quickly check to see if there is any new updates from the Prime Minister or the opposition leader before I close this one out. right, so not seeing anything here. And again, just want you to take note of, emergency numbers. All right. And so for the police, fire, and ambulance, it's 119. All right. Odd PIM, it's 876-906-9674. All right. Jamaica Red Cross, 876-984-7860. National Works Agency, NWA, 876-922-8050. And Jamaica Public Service, JPS, 1888, call JPS. That's 1-888-225-5577. All right. And I am going to put these numbers on the community tab so that you can have access. So once it's there, you can just go and screenshot and ensure that, you have that. And on the note of screenshot, ensure that if you have, I hope that you might have power banks. Ensure that those are charged. Ensure that you charge your devices whenever you get the opportunity. Keep that so that connection is important. If something should happen, you can call, you can reach out for help. All right. Have some credit on your phone. Again, that is important. So just to let you know that. All right. So not seeing anything new there from the opposition. Let me just check with the Prime Minister here to see if there is anything new. All right, so there's a new bulletin 13. All right, so this was just like about 39 minutes ago. The eye of Hurricane Beryl is expected to be south of 80 this evening before it approaches the southeastern coast of Jamaica on Wednesday morning. On this forecast track, the center of the hurricane is expected to move very near or over the island's southern coastline during Wednesday afternoon. All right, so just to let you know that that's the situation there, and a hurricane warning remains in effect as Hurricane Beryl continues to race towards the island. A hurricane warning remains in effect for Jamaica as Hurricane Beryl continues to race towards the island. The following dangerous effects of a hurricane are expected to reach Jamaica by tomorrow: dangerously high water or combination of dangerously high water and exceptionally high winds, even though winds expected may be less than hurricane force, and average winds of at least 119 kilometers per hour. All right. At 7 p.m., the eye of Hurricane Beryl was located near latitude 16.1 degrees north, longitude 71.7 degrees west. This is about 520 kilometers east southeast of Moran Point, or 580 kilometers east southeast of Kingston, Jamaica. Beryl is moving toward the west northwest near 35 kilometers per hour, and this general motion should continue through Wednesday, followed by a turn more toward the west on Wednesday night or Thursday. Maximum sustained winds have decreased to near 240 kilometers per hour, with higher gusts making Beryl a Category 4 hurricane. All right, so just to let you know that. and still a strong hurricane. So that is definitely important for you to know. So as I shared earlier, the eye of Hurricane Beryl is expected to be south of Haiti this evening before it approaches the southeastern coast of Jamaica on Wednesday morning. On this forecast track, the center of the hurricane is expected to move very near or over the island's southern coastline during Wednesday afternoon. All right, so this is the latest update here. So just to let you know, rainfall from the outer bands of Beryl will, however, start affecting Jamaica very early on Wednesday morning, beginning with sections of eastern and north central parishes. There will be gradually spread, these will gradually spread across the island as the center moves closer to the coast, and totals of 100 to 200 millimeters are forecast over the period. All right, so just to let you know that. Again, it is important to pay attention to these warnings and, just to get a sense of, what is happening. So the Met Service continues to monitor the progress of Hurricane Beryl, and all interests are encouraged to pay special attention to further releases. All right, the next bulletin on this system will be issued at 11 p.m. All right, so later this evening, 11 o'clock. So just about, the next 2 hours and 10 minutes. So that's when the next bulletin will be released. All right, so just to let you know that. All right, so that's the update there that I have at this point. So, guys, I just want to say, be safe, do what is necessary to ensure that you're safe. All right, and checking, guys. So, you have me on WhatsApp. So, if you have anything there that you like to share, a video or, a photo of what is happening, an update of what is happening in your area, you can also share with me there. All right, I just want to know that we are all safe. And again, pay attention to the announcements, keep safe, and if you must evacuate, please ensure that you do that. Your safety trumps everything else. All right. So blessings and love, everyone. And I'll continue to check in with you guys to find out, how things are going. But, keep safe and, God bless you all, continued blessings and love. And, let us, weather this storm, this hurricane. All right. So see and talk to you guys soon. See you in the next live. Take care and keep safe. Bye for now.